starting by grounding the feet and the hands, just feeling into your feet and your hands and any sensations that you become aware of. And then noticing your seat and making sure you're seated equally, not leaning to one side or the other. And then sitting up nice and tall, maybe a light lift through the belly to support the spine. Shoulders are relaxed and extending the crown of your head to the sky. Start to take some of those bigger breaths to open up into the lungs and the rib cage, and really getting all of those little tiny intercostal muscles and muscles along the spine, getting them to start to move and open up. And of course you can close your eyes and bring your awareness deep within. And you can also bring your hands out in front of you as if you're holding a ball or a balloon. And as you take those bigger inhales, your hands expand outward. And as you exhale, your hands come closer together. It's also trying to help your belly expand. As you inhale, letting that belly expand like a balloon. And then exhale, contracting the belly gently. Maybe just one more of those mindful breaths. Also allowing your exhale to come out as far as it can. There is an intention that you have today, or your reason for being here, or maybe you just think of something that's really important to you, and keep that right here at your heart center. And we'll start to move. You can blink your eyes open if they were closed. Start with a little bit of self-massage. So if you need to kind of warm up your fingers a little bit, you can wiggle them, make little grippy motions. Or yeah, if your hands are cold, you could rub them. And then start with your forehead, and you can bring all of your fingertips to your forehead, either gently pressing or maybe a light tapping around, maybe tapping the inner edge of your eyebrows or rubbing that spot right there, and then rubbing through your eyebrows to the outer edge of your eyebrows. And there's a little kind of a pressure point there. That's a good spot to sometimes rub or tap. And then out into the temples, to your cheeks, and your jaw especially. Just notice if there's any tension in the jaw. I think I might have mentioned this the other day, that a lot of neck pain can come from the jaw. So if you know you have jaw issues, imbalance in the jaw, or clenching, grinding, TMJ, TMD, then that can often be, it's called a descending issue that comes down into the neck. So just go ahead and bring your fingertips down the sides of your neck, maybe behind your ears. You could even massage your ears, which is super relaxing, usually. And then whenever your hands get tired of all of that, then go ahead and bring your hands down and wiggle them out. Rest your hands on your lap and just take a moment to feel, maybe close your eyes and feel your face and your jaw and your neck. And then let's take those shoulder shrugs, bringing the shoulders up by your ears. And of course, you can change up your angle of doing this, but first just noticing how your shoulders are doing coming down, if they're pretty bumpy, jumpy today, or if they feel smoother. And rest those shoulders at the bottom. And then notice, again, if your neck pain is on the sides of your neck, then just bring your your shoulders up towards your ears, again, that same angle. But if you have neck pain that's more toward the back of your neck, then tip your chin forward, pull your shoulders up and back. Slowly release that tension, smoothing it out. And let's do that again. Bring your shoulders up again, hugging them up and in. And a slow, gentle release, melting them away. Maybe you even bring your hands down by your sides. And imagine this melting, relaxing sensation coming all the way down to your fingers and dripping out through your fingertips. If you'd like to do that one more time, feel free. Or if you have pain on one side of your neck, you could tip your head over toward that side, lift your shoulder up. We can do one side at a time. So contracting that side, focusing into the tense side, and then slowly releasing your shoulder down and bringing your head back to center. Go ahead and do that tense side again. Tipping your head over, bringing your shoulder up towards your ear, and slowly slide it down. Bring your head back to center. And then let's just do the other side. Maybe once. You could do it twice if you want. So tipping your head to the other side, shoulder up towards your ear, and then a slow, smooth release. Eventually just relaxing, taking a breath or two. Bringing your hands back onto your knees and feet out a little bit wider. We're just going to take this kind of an S curve through the spine, allowing the head to float back and forth. Getting a little movement in the neck after we did those shoulder shrugs and integrating what we just did. So really focusing more on the neck here. Good. And bring your feet back closer together. And then we'll start moving through the whole spine. You can shift forward on your chair. Hands to your knees, rounding your spine into cat. And maybe the first one or two are a fairly gentle version of your cat. Rounding your spine as you tip your hips back toward the chair, chin to chest. Belly pulls in. Inhale, lifting up to cow, pulling the elbows and shoulders back, lifting through the heart center, maybe imagining that warm sun energy at your heart and shining it out. And then rounding into cat again, chin to chest. Inhale, lifting up to cow. And of course we can do our vocal cord and facial yoga by saying some of our animal sounds. So as you round into cat, maybe you want to say meow and really enunciate the syllables and get your vocal cords vibrating, and then lifting up to cow or howling coyote, and either moo or howl, howling. Rounding into cat, go ahead and take any of those movements with the lips, really enunciating meow. And lifting up to cow or howling coyote and sounding nice and loud through the vocal cords. Ow. Good, and just release tension. Let's take some shoulder circles, lifting one shoulder up and back and then the other side to side. You can stay right here with your shoulders, just moving your shoulders, or maybe you lift your elbows, or even straighter arms as you reach up and back. Kind of a backstroke. Even if you're just moving your shoulders, you can still imagine that backstroke. And bring your arms down by your side, shake your hands out. Let's reverse direction, so shoulders moving forward. And of course, you can always move one shoulder more than the other if there's any shoulder issues going on, if there's any pain. You want to always move within your pain-free range of motion. And then maybe lifting the elbows And either kind of a doggy paddle, crawling forward, or that big reach, that big stroke. And then even look a little side to side, as long as that doesn't make you dizzy. Really turning your whole upper torso. Nice. And then bring your hands down to your knees and round your shoulders and your chin. So the rest of your torso is staying pretty straight up, but we're pulling those shoulders in, chin to chest, opening up the back side of your neck. And then release that tension. Inhale, reaching your arms up overhead. We'll take some sun breaths and get that sun energy going. Exhale, floating your hands down. Inhale, reaching up, looking up. Exhale, floating in the arms, looking down. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, floating. Inhale, reaching up and down. Let's do that. Reaching up one more time. Big reach, as if you could hold the sun like a big ball, a big giant ball. And then bring one hand down to either your leg or to your chair for a side stretch. Reaching up and over. Your hand could rest on your head. Sweep that hand down to your leg or the chair. Reach the other arm up and over, side stretch. And back to the chair. Let's do that one more time, a little bit different this time. So sweep the other arm up and over, and then see if you can pull your elbow back so you're looking up toward the ceiling. That arm could be really bent, kind of like a cactus. And then reach it over again for that side stretch. Reach up and over to the other side. Plant your hand, reach the other arm up and over. And then try pulling your elbow back, looking up to the side, opening through your shoulder, and then taking that side stretch again. Inhale and rest your arms. Good. Let's go down to the feet. Feel free to place your feet on blocks, especially if your legs are shorter. Just gives us a little bit better feedback as we do some of this footwork. The balls of your feet on the blocks, lifting your heels up, maybe even come up onto your tippy toes if you can. Rest your elbows on your knees as you slowly let your heels come down and feel if there's any of that shakiness, and allow your heels to come all the way down past the ends of the blocks. So you get that good stretch through your Achilles tendons and calf muscles. And lift your heels up again. Hold that for 3 seconds and slowly lower the heels down. Trying to smooth them out and heels lower, maybe past the ends of the blocks. If your feet are just on the floor or in your shoes, then you just press your heels lightly into the floor. And then lift those heels up again. Make sure you're breathing and slowly lower your heels down. Really press those heels down. You can sit up. Set the blocks aside. As we extend your foot out, of course it could be on a block. You could be using your hands or just trying to use your muscles as much as possible. And then pull your foot under. So a couple more of these extensions, and then feeling the hamstrings, pull your foot back. And then extend your foot, hold it out there, or place it on a block or the floor. Point your foot and flex, and point, flex, point, and flex. Take some ankle circles, and make sure you're breathing as you do all of these tiny movements. And the other direction. Place your foot down, extend your other leg out, and hug it underneath if you can, or to the side of your chair. And then kicking it out. Remember, you can rub your knee if it's If it's bugging you at all, taking your foot out, hug it. This time, hold your foot out. Sit up tall as you point and flex, point, flex, and point. Then take some ankle circles. And the other direction. Good. And bring your foot down. And let's do some hip movements on the other leg. Bringing your knee side to side. And if it's feeling good, taking your hip circles. Using your hip muscles as much as possible. And exploring into your pain-free range of motion. Go the other direction. Nice, maybe a couple of back and forth, zigzagging. Ooh, getting it nice and warmed up. And step your foot down, pick it up. You can pick it up under your knee, maybe at first. If you want to kick it out a couple times, feel free. And then maybe grab that shin. You can lean back in your chair as you pick your leg up as high as you can. Keep this, the ability to really bend all of our joints as much as possible. When you're ready, place your ankle over your knee. You can also cross your legs or cross at your ankles if this ever feels too deep. Take a moment to massage your calf, your foot. Eventually leaning further forward if you want that stretch. Maybe bringing your chin to your chest. Taking some deep breaths. Relaxing with each exhale. On your next inhale, sitting up nice and tall. Take your time, you can rock your legs side to side. Step your foot down, straighten your knee, just letting that blood flow get back through there. Come over to the other knee, moving it back and forth. If it's feeling good, taking your hip circles. And the other direction. And some zigzagging back and forth, higher and lower. Breathing. And then go ahead and place your foot down, pick it up under your knee, and maybe a couple of kicks out in this angle. And then you can grab your shin and pull it up higher or as high as you can. Bring your ankle over your knee, figure four. Give yourself a calf massage or a foot massage. And as it feels good, leaning forward for a deeper stretch. Maybe chin to chest. And I love to notice how each breath can release almost like a layer of tension. On your next inhale, sitting up nice and tall, you can rock your legs side to side. Step your foot down and extend. Rub your knees. All right, so let's go for a little bit of a walk. So we got our legs all nice and warmed up, and you can keep your feet on the ground and get your arms swinging, or maybe take those marching steps and turn it into a good little workout here. But really focus on those arms. Try to get your arms swinging dramatically, kind of exaggerating the swing if you can. Really reaching as far forward as you can each time. Breathing. Nice. And maybe taking some wider steps and getting those elbows swinging out to the sides. If you're really serious about this walk. And then let's take some steps in and out if you can. In and out, in and out, in and out. Then bring your feet closer together and pick up the pace. Remember, you can always just do your arms or just do your legs, and then see if you can take this into a running and get your arms pumping, get those muscles going as much as you can. Take a breath when you're tired. Good. And slow it down. A few more steps. Ooh, those hips are feeling good now. Nice and warm. All right, so slow it down. And we're going to take some movements, leaning forward and back. Make sure your feet are out a little bit wide. And leaning into those hips that are nice and tired, and then leaning back and letting them open up. Leaning forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. And yes, I love, Ruth, how you have your block between your knees, which can be so supportive for the muscles on our inner thighs and for our deep core. So let's go ahead, and if you have a block or a pillow, go ahead and place that between your knees, and it could be any setting that's best for you. I tend to like this wider setting. And just feel a slight engagement here. So just a little bit, maybe 2 out of 10 on the effort scale. So it really supports so many muscles in and up through the torso as well. And you can relax that at any time. Just wanted you to notice that first. Take a deep breath, and then we're going to engage the knees together, and then also pressing the palms together. Maybe your elbows are out wide as you press everything together and feel this lift up. My feet almost come off the floor as I do this. And holding it for a few seconds, and then releasing and relaxing. You could grab the block so your legs can relax. Take a breath or two. And then we'll do that again. So pressing everything in and up, breathing, strengthening, and release and relax. If you want to, you could also let your knees come out and in a few times. Let's do that a couple more times. So pressing your knees into the block, palms pressed together. Imagine all of your engagement, muscular engagement, is going into the midline and up through the crown of your head. And release. Ooh, it's getting warm. We're going to do one more. So release some tension, and then give it a good one as long as there's no pain anywhere as you do this. And pressing your knees together, pressing your palms together, sitting up nice and tall. Stay, if you can, in this engagement and just lean a little bit forward, feeling how that supports your torso, and then lean back. Oh, and release, let it go. Nice. So bring your legs out wide. We're going to take a wide-legged forward fold. And you can bring your elbows to your knees and stay right there. If you have any blood pressure issues, this is a good place to stay. If you want to go deeper, then slide your hands down your shins to your ankles. You can hold on to your feet, or even bring your hands to the floor. Maybe chin to chest, and releasing tension through the crown of your head. Taking a couple of deep breaths wherever you're at in this stretch. Very, very slowly. Inhale as you rise. Maybe first resting with your elbows on your knees, and then bringing your hands to your knees as you sit up nice and tall. Taking a breath or two to readjust your blood pressure. Then we'll inhale, reaching those arms up overhead. Taking a spinal twist, opening up to one side. So gently at first, bring your front hand to your opposite knee. Back arm can rest beside you or over your chair. Just looking off to the side, allowing your body to get used to this twist. And then maybe looking further back. Even if it's just reaching back with your eyes, which is a really good eye stretch, looking into your peripheral vision. Blinking and looking around. And then just turn your head to look forward over your other shoulder. Make sure your shoulders are fairly relaxed, so if they've been creeping up, see if you can bring them down a little bit. And then bring your chin down towards your chest. Lift your chin and look off to the side again. Slowly unwind, coming back to center. Inhale, reaching your arms up, and cactus. Inhale, reaching your arms up, and opening up to the other side. Bring your front hand to your opposite knee. Back arm can rest beside you or over your chair. As you sit up tall, and again, this time let's think about the numbers on a clock. And without lifting your head, you're just going to look up using just your eyes, looking up to 12 o'clock. And maybe blinking and then looking down to 6 o'clock. And then you can look over to 3 o'clock and to 9 o'clock. Stay here with your body, just turning your head to look forward over your other shoulder. Keep your shoulders relaxed. And then maybe tip the chin down toward that shoulder. Lift your chin up and look off to the side again. Slowly unwind and come back to center, reaching your arms wide. This time let's do a big hug. So bring one arm over top of the other, maybe grabbing your opposite shoulders or opposite arms. And then tuck your chin towards your chest, rounding that upper neck, upper back and neck area. You could even bring one ear toward one shoulder. And chin back to chest, other ear toward the other shoulder. And chin back to chest. Notice which arm is on top. We're going to switch. So open up wide again. And then cross the other arm on top. And you can tuck the chin again. Tip your ear toward one side. Chin back to chest. And tipping your head to the other side. Chin back to chest. And slowly unwind your arms, reaching out again. And bring your hands to heart center. So clasp your hands, and you can grip your hands or give yourself a little massage if you want to. And we're gonna reach the hands forward. Keep your fingers clasped, but open up your palms. So the backs of your hands are pressing forward. Tuck your chin to your chest as you reach, really stretch forward through your shoulders. And then inhale, if you can, lifting your arms up. Elbows could be bent here too, because we are just gonna bend them. And then bringing your hands behind your head. As long as that feels okay for your shoulders, just let your head rest back in your hands a little bit. And then we're taking a twist through the torso, looking over to one side, and coming back to center, looking over to the other side, and back to center. Release your hands from behind you, bring them down and shake them out. Let's do this lunge where we're seated sideways on the chair. And then this front leg might be able to come back a little bit. So either your foot could just be back just a little bit, or maybe you can keep kind of sliding it or stepping it back to whatever point feels good, or maybe where you feel a stretch. Of course, another option here is to place a block under your knee, kind of rest your knee on that block. And I like bringing my hands to the seat of my chair so I can kind of lean forward into this position. So your heart is leaning forward if you're doing that, and then maybe you could even step your foot back further when you do that. You could also reach the same side that your leg is stretched out, maybe reach that arm up. And then bring your hand down. Feel free to release that leg, or if you want to stay there longer, that's fine too. And bring your knee forward. So then just give yourself a pause here, because then we're going to turn around to the other side, pivot on your chair. And then step that front leg back a few steps, maybe resting your knee on the block, or you can lean into your hands and step your foot back even further. So for me, I feel a really good stretch in the front side of my hip. If you place your back foot down flat on the floor, you'll feel it, in a little different area, but it's all just opening up this hip area. And the same leg that's extended, the arm on that side could reach up. Nice, this could be a crescent lunge or a warrior one. And then float your arm down. Bring your leg back. And again, just pause so that your spine gets to just reset here, and then pivot on your seat so that you come back to center. So next we will do our 5-pointed star, and you can step those feet out, maybe scooch a little away from the back of your chair just so you can lean back if you want to. Bring your hands to heart center, sitting up nice and tall. Feet are active and engaged, maybe a tiny little press into the floor to help you sit up tall. And then let's do that big stretch, reaching, whole body, reaching out. Beautiful. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a breath. You can shake your hands out too if you want to. And we'll do that one more time. So another engagement. Press your feet into the floor a little bit, sitting up tall, then reach, and then lean back and kick. Ooh. Big stretch, big, beautiful hearts opening up. And bring your hands back to heart center. Bring your hands down to your knees. We're going to take a little rocking motion side to side. And notice how that's feeling in your hip, even into your waist and your low back. And go ahead and even bring a little circular motion into it, if that feels good. And then reversing direction, going in the other direction, circling. And come back to center. So reaching across your body and a bit of a lean at first. And then the other side, reaching across your body, bring your hand back to center. Reach across and back to center. Notice how that's feeling on each side. And then if you would like to, see if you want to hold that longer, maybe reach a little further if it feels good. And come back to center. And the other side, reach and lean. And back to center. Now bring either your hand or your forearm on that knee and reach your arm up. You could take shoulder circles here, maybe bending deeply at your elbow. Good, and eventually reaching your arm up and over to the other knee. Either your hand or your forearm can rest as you reach the other arm up and take some shoulder circles, or either straight arm or bending the elbow. Finish with your arm reaching up and then lifting you up, and slowly float your hands down. Bring your feet closer together. We're going to take our rocking motions for a little bit here, but making those bicep curls and clenching your fists. And then when you lean forward, airplane arms, spreading your fingers wide and getting that work into your triceps. So leaning back with bicep curls and leaning forward, airplane arms. Several times, and of course you can stay right here if you want to stay in your seat. If you want to go up to standing, make sure that it's right for you today, that you're not lightheaded. And also notice if there's anything around you that might be in your way. So let's just pause and check out your space, make sure it's clear of obstacles. And if you have a support you want to bring in to come to standing, feel free. So first thing is either your hands can rest on your knees or on your chair for these little stand-up sit-downs. So you can really get more of an arm workout here or more of a leg workout. And I find that if people have knee issues, that usually using their hands is better. But if people have wrist and hand issues, then placing your hands on the knees is better. And just a few of those. So pause. If you're going to come to standing, we'll do one longer held chair pose. So if you want to lean forward and come to that halfway lifted position, hands can rest on your legs. You could bring your elbows to your knees. You can take any other arm position, hands at heart center, or arms reaching out. Make sure you take a couple of deep breaths, especially if you're getting tired, and then we'll eventually sit back down. You can kick your legs out, or maybe tap those feet. We'll take our relaxation time, Shavasana, and just allowing everything we did today to integrate into your body and your mind and your spirit, and allowing this rest, rejuvenation. You could take a movement that we didn't do today that you're wanting to do. You could also rest your knees out wide in butterfly, or even the opposite, constructive rest pose, where we bring our feet out wide and the knees come in together. And of course, taking any other movements that would feel really good to you to help you relax. Notice your jaw and your tongue. And see if you can relax your jaw. Maybe let your tongue just float in your mouth. Noticing your hands. Maybe spreading them wide, kind of as a symbol of opening up. But then exhale and just relax your hands.